Thanks for your patience. I just needed to post. I'm gonna adjust the stream title real quick. Although I think we've established that this visual novel is not gonna get too crazy. It's not gonna be, I mean, murder is still an explicit theme. You know what I mean? And I do want the leeway to make semi-lewd jokes, I guess. So here we are. Yeah, excited to get back into it. Hope you guys are too. Hi. I don't know how I feel about, well, the first couple songs were very smooth jazz adjacent. This is smooth jazz adjacent too. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with smooth jazz. It's, you know, it's great stuff. In any case, I sound dehydrated. I might need to go get some water. I should have gotten it before now, but I didn't. That's okay. But let me start up the game in the meantime. I'll go run and grab something. And yeah, like I'm definitely gonna need water. I don't know what I was thinking. Whoa. Playing myself. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay. I have 2 drinks. One for enjoyment and one for content creation. I don't know what terminology I should use here. It does sound like there's some intermixing with the To Kill Arrows music and the background music, so we'll take care of that really soon. Like right now even. And I might. Let's see what the lovers get up to. I'm sure there's gonna be some drama. God, I can't wait to see how it plays out. Wait a minute. This is one of the demos. Hold on. Well, damn. I still have all of the files on here, of course. Here's the full game. was like, we didn't save there. We haven't gone to that yet. Here we go. Alright, tobacco usage, violence and blood, and some other stuff. I still didn't get to read it in time. It's fine. Everything is fine. I've been cursed by love. I can't be told otherwise. It's all his fault. Eros! I'll kill him! LMAO. Alright. Now, actual loading. We were making soup or eating pizza, maybe both. I think we were throwing away soup and eating pizza. Also, I think the water by itself is not going to do it. I have to pop open my second drink, which has vitamin C, which will help clear my throat. It's got to be prepared, you know? No phlegm, no mucus. Clear audio. All things that are good, you know? Alright, what's going on with you? What are you guys up to? Another black feather? You should make a pillow with them. That's not nearly enough yet. Guess I gotta shed a couple more. Why are you so upbeat about this? You're not concerned? I genuinely just think that in Cupidine society, they know about these distinctions, but they don't know that there's actually like malleability between them, or Icardi just doesn't know because Icardi is a himbo. Anyway. It's alarming he was shedding so many. Even some clusters of his feathers would turn black. He spent most of the time plucking them out whenever he could. When I asked him, he said he didn't know what it meant, but told me not to worry. That was easier said than done. For my sake, I did as he said, if only to keep my own speculations from hindering everything. Quesimir City. Do you see them anywhere, Melly? Gee, my field of vision is too broad, I think. I'll drop to the ground then. What do you... Lower slowly. They're flying together. Oh, how cute. Okay. Slowly. Slowly. He mentioned being unable to see me for a while because of his scouting, and for a few days there was no sight of him. Then one day he appeared to me on my day off. What are you doing here? Finished with work already? No. Then you have enough time for a break? Nada. Why the hell are you here wasting time then? You complained about not being able to see me. I have the perfect solution, and I think you'll like it too. What is it? Cardi. Come here. And that day is also today. It's just earlier this day. Now here we are, flying all over the city looking for his various pairs of the day. It's not as tedious as I thought it might be. I'm hardly a hindrance in his work, and apparently he can extend his invisibility cloak to me while we're flying. With a few trials and errors, of course. I can feel them nearby, and they're really, really close to each other. Nearby, as in right here in the park? There weren't many people at the park yet, so it wasn't hard to find a pair that fit his description. Is that them? There? Yeah! Good job, Melly. I'm sure you would have noticed them in a couple of seconds anyway. But your eyes found them for me a couple seconds faster. We landed a little ways behind the bench of the two, and just as I was about to take cover behind a tree, I felt his hand grab my wrist. You can't cloak me and shoot your arrow at the same time. It'd be odd if someone saw me standing here like this. Do you want to fire the bow? Me? You can see what it's like. How it feels. This isn't against the rules? I don't know. Mess. You have to know. If they told you that you couldn't allow humans to touch it, then what does that mean? I want to share my experience with you. And make a really cute CG. Icardi pulled me closer and materialized his bow. A bundle of nerves knotted up in my chest, and my hands trembled as he guided my form. Don't be nervous. I've got you. Look at you saying things that are easier said than done for the 50th time. Just trust me. See? I won't let you fire it by yourself. He laced his hand over mine, drew the arrow back, and brought his other hand to rest at the small of my back. Heat rose to my face. If it goes wrong, it's your fault. Trust me. On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. My eyes snapped shut the moment that we let go of the arrow. Good job! We're not done yet, though. One more target. A gentle rub slid along my spine. Breathing felt impossible. The awareness of our proximity made me anxious, made me fidget. In response, his muscular arm hooked around my waist instead as he once again shifted positions. His abs pressed against my back. The palm of his hand slid over my stomach, fingers grazing just below my navel. Steady now. Again. On the count of 3. The whisper of his voice tickled my ears, invading my thoughts. He had to be doing it on purpose. Icardi was always handsy, but not in this way. My mind was so full that I didn't even register his counting or the shot this time. See? That wasn't so hard, right? I can't tell. Really? I was guiding you. You have to do it 6 more times. 6 more? That's 3 extra couples. Or we could skip the couples and... Huh? Never mind. Are you sure? Who were the next pairs? Oh, there's another at that local cafe there's another at that local cafe that you frequent. Then let's go. Make sure you hold me again like you just did, or else I won't feel comfortable. I can't. Roger. I was wrong. He's too innocent to make such bold moves. He brought me back to my apartment after finishing the set of pairs. However, the idea of having to leave for more work himself wasn't very appealing. I want to stay here with you. The faster you and the other Cupidines clear up the influx, the faster you can spend quality time with me again. Can't I just bring you along on all of my assignments? Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed every bit of today, but I also have work to do. It can't be a frequent thing. I have to keep this roof over my head. Sorry. Ooh. Fine. Tell you what. If you beat the influx, we'll do something fun together. Something fun? Well, the objective is what it feels like to go on a date, so honestly, it could be anything. A date? With Melly? You gave me the experience of scouting Cupid work, so I'll give you that. How does that sound? I'll do my very best. For Christ's sake. He was so happy that he nearly shot through my roof. But it was then that it finally dawned on me. What's wrong with your eyes? Oh, hey. Very suddenly. My eyes? They're bloodshot. Maybe the sunlight strained them. It was beaming in my face pretty badly. I wasn't buying any of that shit. This was the third strange occurrence. First it was the black feathers, then the long black nails, and now your eyes. I know they seem really, really bad. Uh-huh. But I don't feel any different from before. I'm okay, honestly. Cardi. Please don't worry. It'll make it harder for me. What are we talking about? Something is wrong. Harder for you? I won't be able to focus properly on work if I'm making you worry. What kind of logic is that? You'll be the first to know if something's really wrong with me. He took both of my hands into his own. Underneath white gloves, I could see a hint of pitch black skin, through the material. Whatever was happening to his nails was spreading up his arms, and I feared I wouldn't be able to ignore it anymore. Something was causing this to happen. Something Icardi was up to, but didn't want me to think about. Okay, so maybe he is aware of what's going on then? Like, he's aware something's happening. He's kind of brushing it off, but he knows something's happening. Okay. The question is, what? Is it related to specifically how he wants to help Melrose, or? Let's see how much he knows about what's going on, I guess. I had an inkling of what it might be. Are you? I really have to go now, Melly. But I'll be back and we'll talk about it then. Okay? He didn't allow me the chance to question him further. Instead, he propelled himself straight through my apartment ceiling, as he'd done several times now. He's so damn stubborn. His way of telling me to keep ignoring it, I suppose. Yeah, I guess. There's no way there isn't something wrong, and that he has no clue. I wasn't born yesterday. Neither was he. But ignoring it was exactly what I needed to do. If this was the way to get into Thespe, then I had to. Is this the way to get to Thespe, though? What? You know what I'm saying? What? We don't even know if that's the case. Okay, what if he becomes a love forecaster and then he can't even get back into Thespe? Think, Millie, at the expense of just a little longer. I may believe that something's happening, but if it were dire, I should trust his word for it. It'll all be over soon. I'm sorry to neglect you like this. Oh no, okay. I came back pretty late, and Melrose had already fallen asleep in that window of time. I was glad. The more he saw the changes, the more he'd worry, and might even try to stop me. The faucet ran with ice-cold water draining over my uncovered arms. My hands, they're scorched. My fingertips throb where I have aggressively filed the ever-growing sharp nails. It didn't take long for it to become clear to me why this was happening, but I couldn't stop now. I'm too close. I have to do this. For him. Ricardi, no, you don't. You actually don't. I can take anything. As a being made for this purpose, I can do it. I was shown that I can. A single wet tear. And then another. And another. I was surprised to discover that Icardi's odd ailments had disappeared when he returned home a few days ago. Disappeared, really? Like nothing ever happened to him. Even the patches of black feathers were pure white again. In exchange, he was fairly exhausted. He might have slept nearly a whole day on the couch. Lucky for us, his cloaking still works whether he's awake or not. The landlady was playing catch-up with me that day, but she never noticed him. He seems much better now, bright-eyed and smiling again. So he was right that it wasn't dire. Hello? I'm so excited. These look so awesome, Millie. Glad you like them. I was almost certain that they wouldn't fit you. The shirt's a little tight, but just a little. I mean, compared to wearing no shirt, I suppose anything would be, but it is also like skin tight. The only criticism I won't take negatively. What? You're suddenly doing that voice again. You walk around bearing your whole torso and now you're embarrassed when I draw attention to it? It's not about that. I mean, it's about that too, but more so your tone. Oh, maybe I should talk like this all day then. It is a date, after all. No. No way. As promised, I planned to take him out on a date so that he could experience one as a human would. He lowered his cloak for today just for the opportunity. Albeit the wings had to remain hidden, but I could still see and touch them. Huh? Just checking them. I'm okay. He smiled softly, then turned to look out of the window. Who knew riding the bus would be fun too? There's so many people on board. Feels like we're gonna... I'm sorry. Feels like we're going on an adventure together. I figured I'd give you that experience instead of just driving us there. You like sightseeing. Yeah. Humans make so many cool things. With that thought, you'll love where we're going. A museum? Where? Just keep looking out the window. After some time, an amusement park attraction came into view, and Nicardi's face lit up brightly. Wow, you're taking me there? Seemed like something you'd enjoy. A lot of fun experiences to try. Saying it out loud made me think about how much effort I actually put into it. Honestly, the average date for me was going out for drinks and dancing, then going home, and this was more up Marlowe's alley. I'm sure they'd be great friends if they met. Can we try everything? The tickets only cover so much, so we won't get to do everything. Besides, you might be a little too large for any kiddie rides. Ooh. Cute. We'll make sure that you have as much fun as possible, though. We have to have fun. I'll have fun if you're happy by the end of the day. Of the many normal activities to be entranced by, Nicardi seemed to be adamant about trying out the shooting range. Guns and bows are two different things, by the way. I know. I've always wondered how they worked. What toy are you trying to get? That one. He pointed to an orange cat, then turned to pat my head. Because it reminds me of you. It does? You're a little wild, if you ask me. Oh, like a stray cat? I guess. I see. Well, that bear reminds me of you. Want me to get them both? You can try. I handed over the money for his sponge pellets. Sponge pelts? It didn't cross my mind for a second that he could even figure out how to use the toy gun in the slightest. In fact, I believed that I'd have to do everything in my power to keep him from wasting all of our time here. But I was wrong. Ding, ding, ding. What the hell? I got him. Here are your prizes. You've got 5 more pelts. Want to keep going? Is there another that you want, Melly? The alligator. It was at the top, in the back row. I figured that it'd be even more difficult to hit. It should have been. But it wasn't. That was a little difficult. Look at you lying out of your teeth. I'm not. My aim had to be very precise. As if your aim hadn't been precise the first 2 times. His skill garnered the attention of 2 kids and a couple of young ladies. The last of his rounds went to getting their prizes. The date just started and you're already popular. Do humans normally write numbers on each other's hands? Not unless they're interested in keeping contact. So they want to be friends too? They were hitting on you. Looking forward to potentially going out with you. Really? They shouldn't do that. Why not? Because I'm on a date with you? Even if it's a mock date, I have to respect you as my partner. You'd be a wonderful boyfriend, then. It's only the bare minimum. He said that, and yet he still blushed over it. The moment we reached the rides, it was all over. I want to ride that. Why did you pick the one with the most loops? Melly, let's get on this one. You want to be shaken now? Looping wasn't enough. Waterlogs! Great place to release the barf I've been holding in. After the rides, he usually zoomed ahead to find another to point at, but this time he lingered close by. The waterlog ride had drenched me at one turn, so we took a pit stop in a densely populated spot for me to wring the water out of my shirt. Shortly after, I could feel a pair of eyes boring into me. Whose? Oh, they were Riccardi's. There was a certain intensity of his gaze that brought an uncharacteristic shyness out of me. Then I thought he was probably observing my tattoos. It wasn't often that he got to see them. You're staring really hard at me. I'm sorry. It's just your markings are very detailed, like the ones you draw. Well, I designed them. Really? So, could I have one too? Huh? And not to put on me, I'd get in trouble for that, but I want to know what one would look like for me. Like that one. Not that one. He pointed to my ankle and I recalled the forgotten tattoo there. It was Hendy's name. It surprised me that he'd noticed it. It's not possible. I mean, it's not impossible. I'll make it later. For the record, if your name ever had to go on my body, it'd be here. I touched just below my stomach, right at the place between the tattoos that threatened to connect. His face blew up red, and he sputtered. Oh, that's not appropriate. Relax. It's just the spot I'd pick if we were dating. Oh. Riccardi. So cute. I enjoyed his flustered embarrassment more than anything. Pulling my shirt back on, I walked around for a bit in search of the next ride. But there was a noticeable shift in Riccardi's demeanor, as if he wanted to talk about something. Not gonna run off to the next ride? Am I being too much? Too much. How so? I've been running all over the place, and I noticed that you've slowed down. I'm just taking my time. You can run around as much as you want. But we're supposed to be here together. Well, am I not physically here? He gave me a look of determination before turning his back to me and kneeling on one knee. Huh? What? Piggyback ride, I guess? It's not that serious, Cardi. I can walk just fine. I'm never getting up from here unless Melly gets on my back. Okay, fine. I can't. It was strange that I could clearly see his wings present, and I could touch them before, but the moment I climbed onto his back, they dissipated. Comfy? Very appreciated. I lay my head on his shoulder and then nuzzled my face into the crook of his neck. He visibly trembled at that, causing me to side-eye him skeptically. You're snuggling me? It's a date. Besides, I already said that you're like a teddy bear. I can't. Thank you. Why? For giving me this experience. I'm really happy. The sincerity of his words gripped at my chest, but with it came a knowing pain. That's good. Exactly the way I wanted it. Let's find some more things to do. Oops. With that, he sped toward the next thing to catch his eye. Whoa. Cardi, there are so many other cars in this tournament, and yet you're only aiming for me. They're doing bumper cars? Because I want to catch you. I'm gonna get him first. There was no time to register as the little red car collided with the side of mine. Got you! Oh. Well, I guess you did. No! I'll avenge you, Melly. In your dreams. In the bumper car tournament, getting hit ended your time behind the wheel. My car sloped off to the side of the ring while I watched Icardi battle it out with the remaining participants. Though there were mostly kids left over, he held his own against them for a little while. These kids are monsters. They practically swarmed me. You did well by me. I didn't avenge you. You did. The kid who hit my car, remember? Oh, right. But I also wanted to win. You can't win them all. Third place is still a good spot. A giant round sheep mascot approached us with a balloon and a lollipop. Looks like that's for you. For me? The mascot twirled in her dress and extended the balloon and lollipop enthusiastically for Icardi to take. I pulled out my phone's camera to capture the moment. Wow, thank you. Oh. The mascot kicked up one of her legs in delight as she grabbed Icardi and planted a kiss on his cheek. Whoa. Before Icardi could say anything, the sheep was making her way over to some more guests. How'd you like it? It's not what you think. I didn't think she'd do that. You look like you're enjoying yourself, though. Look at your red cheeks. Don't say it like that. You always do this. How do you expect things to work if you don't make time for me? Huh? I'm so sorry. But I can't just abandon my job. If they need me, I have to go. I'm just tired of being second, okay? I put up with it for a whole month because I thought I could handle it. Your job means everything to you. If you understand this, then why are you doing this right now? Because you fucking promised me that today would be ours. Anyway, Icardi? Something wrong? It's one of my pairs. I studied the two women arguing beside the souvenir shop. They didn't strike me as familiar, so it had to have been a match he'd made without me. The argument was intense, ending with the angry woman storming off and leaving her partner to cry on the bench. Her last words were, "Don't call me again." I looked up to gauge Icardi's expression, and what I saw was concerning. His eyes, which had originally cleared up, were bloodshot, and gray patches were forming on his wings again. But the most alarming thing was the faint scowl on his face. Cardi? Huh? Is everything all right? Yeah. Yeah. Let's go find another ride. I grabbed his wrist before he could walk away. It's getting late, and I'm running low on extra cash for them. We'll have to call it for today. Oh. Right now? The day isn't over, and the night is still quite young. Where are we going now? Home. I still have plans for us. All right. He seemed to regain his composure from my assurance. Thankfully, the breakup hadn't damaged his mood. I mean, it kinda did. But you fixed it. Good job. He had to be happy by the end of the day. This is so good. I wanted it to be luxury food, but fast food works too. What are these? Chicken nuggets? Nuggies? The burger is full of flavor. Can I have a piece of your chicken? Not gonna let me enjoy it? Do you want it? Have at it. You're the best! Food being the way to fix his heart wasn't surprising. The breakup seemed to fall to the back of his thoughts, with his focus returning to just us. Everything was falling into place again. I just needed to lay it on him and have him say yes. Then I could move forward with my objective. Is there anything to drink too? I'll get it. And once I have fulfilled my objective, I could end this arrangement so that Icardi would return to normal. That was what I wanted. That's what I had to do. Have you had any alcohol before? I don't imagine Cupidines get to indulge in our things often. Nope. I've seen humans drinking it though. Any opinions about it? I can't say anything about flavors, but I know some humans have fun and say it makes them feel good. Sounds about right. It does add as much life to a party as it can provide a punch of depression. I handed him a tall glass of champagne before taking a sip of my own. Champagne and burgers. I mean, okay. He joined me, taking a large gulp from his cup. Careful, don't down it in one go. It tastes so good. Of course you're saying that again. Minutes passed as we drank and chattered away. I had to pace myself. If I got lost in the act, I'd forget all about asking him to take me to Thespe. With a little loosening up, maybe he wouldn't reject the idea as strongly as he'd done with the bow before. There was no room for him to say no. No time to sit waiting for an answer. Icardi was changing the longer he stayed with me. The faster everything was over, the faster those changes could disappear. At least, I hope so, anyway. Melly, what's wrong? Why do you think they broke up? Those ladies? They were so in love when they first started dating. I've been watching them all this time. Sometimes things just happen. From the sound of it, their priorities were conflicting. That shouldn't matter. If they truly loved each other, they could have talked about it. Perhaps. It isn't always easy to just strike up certain topics. They should have fought harder. It was the first I'd seen of Icardi expressing himself in this way. So maybe... I wonder if it's like frustration with the process of love matching. Like if you're a regular Cupidine, scouting Cupid, and you don't really interact with the couples to see long term what happens with them, you don't really get emotionally wrapped up in what's going on. But because he's learning about how human coupling works, he's beginning to kind of understand the frustration of the real life process outside of the like point and click version of the work that they do, which is how you become a love forecaster instead. Like if that's the case, then the changes might be permanent regardless of whether or not he stops interacting with Melly. Who knows? Angered and annoyed. What I've gathered is that they lack patience and compromise. It's so wasteful. We Cupidine go out of our way every day to put them together, and at the drop of a hat they separate and dare to pray again? It's not fair. It's not fair that humans can freely go about falling in love and dating, but this is what they do with it. Does it bother you when your pairs break up? I hate it. They take our hard work for granted and they spit on it with selfish requests for us to keep matchmaking and matchmaking. They get to meet more people and try all kinds of relationships, and it's still not enough. But he paused, green eyes lowering to my lips for the briefest moment. You understand what it's like, right? Love has evaded you so much that you turn to us. Even with that, there's no need. I'll find my partner, remember? That was the plan. Do you really need to? Isn't that why we started this whole thing? Icardi's gaze was more intense than any other moment that he laid eyes on me. He put his cup down on the table, turning to face me entirely. It is, but I don't think you need to find them. What? My glass spilled and dropped to the floor. Oh. Hi. My back pressed against the cushion on the couch, and Icardi hovered over me with clouded eyes and a flushed red face. Can we just live in today? No tomorrow where I go back to being a Cupidine, and you go back to being a human that I have to pair? Time isn't... He doesn't let me finish my words. Oh, okay, hold on a minute. I mean, we'll leave this up for a second. He doesn't let me finish my words. It wasn't what he wanted to hear, so he silenced me with his lips. All of my senses heightened, fully aware of the contact between us. This wasn't part of the plan. Icardi... He wouldn't listen to me. No matter how much I tried to speak, his full, plush lips would smother the words, and shortly after, he'd steal my breath. His weight pressed down on me so tight that I could feel his leg riding up my crotch. Icardi, please. Today only. Just for today. Can I act like a human? Melrose. He whispered the words hot against my ear, dragging his teeth against the shell. My breath hitched in the back of my throat. My heart pounded and throbbed intensely with the tension building between my legs. His hand rode up my shirt, nails tracing the intricate patterns of my tattoos. I can't help you the way we planned, but I can use myself, can't I? Okay. I think that's a fair amount of that. Just in case. It might be fine. I fought to hold back the moans that bubbled out from his attentive hands at my chest and his lips on my neck. I didn't know what to do. I no longer had control of the situation and found it harder to want it back. I don't know if this will get me in trouble, so I'm not gonna share it. You know what? If you are 18 plus and you want to follow you want to join the Discord, I'll post the CG in the Discord if you want to see it. But I think it'd probably be fine. But I don't know. I don't know. It's nice though. It's good shit. It's good though. Silencing my voice again, he kissed me passionately, deepening it with his tongue. A kiss full of hunger and desperation. His black claws scraped my skin as he slid one hand down into my pants. Instinctively, I grabbed his wrist while he continued to work his hand around me, a flimsy attempt to regain the control that I was hastily losing. Icardi was touching me, and my body craved it more than anything. More than the revenge I wanted. More than the guilt in my chest for making him this way. Don't worry. I'll take care of everything. I'll take care of everything. He spoke against my lips, lapping up the saliva that drained. All the while, his hand continued to send my body into an uncontrollable frenzy with each stroke. I loosened my grip on his wrist and arched my back into his pumps, relinquishing all control. Fuck. It was the low rumble of thunder that opened my eyes. The opposite wall reflected the clouds outside. The low pattering of rain settled in the silence. Had it not been for the shallow breathing or the realization of the weight on top of me, I'd have thought that I was alone. I recognized the peach hair to be Icardi's. Then the entire night prior hit me like a freight train. While we didn't go all the way, Icardi did things I didn't think he knew how to do. My face flushed red upon the memory. Somewhere in it all, he'd lost his jacket and shirt on my floor. The line had definitely been crossed, regardless of how far. Hey, are those hickeys? Are you awake? I think they are. He appeared to still be sleeping, burying himself into my chest. This wasn't supposed to happen. Icardi wasn't supposed to take over and indulge my sexual pleasures. It was only a means of achieving the unbelievable. Getting close to him was only for that. So why did it turn into nearly having full-blown sex with him on my couch? Why am I so bothered by the way things have been? What is he doing that My eyes stared at the large portion of black feathers on his wings, and a fearful thought poked into my mind. I knew the answer long ago. That's why I wanted to end this as soon as possible. Icardi. I called his name firmly. His body didn't budge. However, it became apparent to me that something was touching my chest. Something rhythmic. Come on now. Using the palms of my hands, I flipped him over onto his side. Ah! I fell off the couch and into the coffee table. The commotion was enough to have him jolting awake. Finally. Melly, what's wrong? Are you okay? You're... Calm down and tell me slowly. Okay, he's clothed. I mean, it's only a half shot. Your heart is exposed. Oh no. It's all right. Please don't panic, Melrose. Don't panic. Your heart is exposed and you don't want me to panic? I'm fine. It doesn't hurt. None of it hurts. I can't do this. I really fucked up this time. Whatever this change was, it didn't feel good. And I couldn't ignore it anymore. Icardi was doing his best to hide it as if it weren't there, but how the hell could he hide these changes? Something is happening to you at my expense. Stop. Calm down, Melrose. I can mask it. I learned how to do that. That's not the point. It's not about whether I can see it or not. I know it's unsightly, but I'm fine. I'm still me. Listen. I slam my fist on the table, causing Icardi to flinch. We are stopping this. Mel, you will find my partner and you will shoot both of us with the arrow. This is how it should have been from the start. If I just settled for this method of matchmaking, if I just let Icardi do his damn job, he wouldn't be turning into whatever he is because of my selfish requests. I shouldn't have taken that other god's word to heart. Killing Eros was always just a stupid idea. Understand? No. His voice was cold, and the same scowl he wore before had returned. It shocked me. What do you mean, no? I stood up from the floor and looked at his face towering over me. Exactly that. Icardi, you don't get to make all the demands and expect me to go along with them. What? Why? Why now do you want to do things the right way? But because you and everyone else are really, really pissing me off. Changing your minds and hurting everyone around you. Is it funny? Icardi. He put distance between us, chittering and pacing in place as his emotions coursed through him. I'm drinking water. Unlike any of his actions before, he was devoid of the gentle kindness he had shown me until now. It frightened me. But instead of running away from him, I wanted to be closer to the real him. You think I wanted to do all of this? Endure all of this? Just for you to reset everything back? I said that so you can be safe. You don't even know what's wrong with me to even try protecting me from it. Then tell me, because that's why I'm saying we should stop. He paused for a moment. I saw the sorrow in his face. Then he settled back into his frustration. You'll still say it regardless. So there's no point now. It's too late to go back. Cardi, please explain it to me. I took a step forward and he took a step back. A sense of urgency rose in me at the sight of his wings expanding. You don't understand. I can understand. I will understand. Just talk to me. I can't talk to you. He flexed his wings and propelled himself through the ceiling. Please, Icardi, don't leave! I called out, but he didn't come back. The air in the room felt so dense that it became hard to breathe. Shit. My eyes lingered on the space where he once was before I pulled on my shoes and rushed out from the front door.
Is everything all right, Sonny? I heard yelling.
Later. I'll tell you later. How are you gonna find him? Yeah. I ran through the streets looking for Icardi without a destination, narrowly avoiding traffic. So, okay, the emotional turmoil that I was looking for occurred. It also got spicy. It got saucy as well. Which, you know, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe, I mean, it was fairly tame, obviously, but I thought it was going to be even more so. So it was a nice surprise. I'm glad I didn't spoil it for myself somehow. But I thought, not that I thought, I wondered if the conflict would be Melrose finally pushing to go to Thespe and Icardi feeling betrayed, realizing that what they'd been doing wasn't genuine. But it's kind of even better than that. Like, Icardi chooses to go all the way. I guess we don't know. Maybe it's because, like, we still don't know what that bright light was when he looked for Melrose's partner. Maybe Melrose doesn't have a partner, or there's some, like, other issue involved there. But he chose to stay around Melrose, I guess, because he was developing feelings for Melrose. And so the betrayal was actually of feeling, I guess I feel like it tracks with Icardi's naive, like the naive nature of Icardi, that he's like, I'm doing this for you, but I'm not telling you, and your concern for me is upsetting to me because it feels like a rejection. Like, it, you know what I mean? Like, it is like definitely a reaction. I mean, and also it's like heightened emotions because he's going through all this other stuff, for Melrose, who's now telling him, hey, I don't want you to do this, but he's like, I'm doing it for you. You know, I like that. Like, I think that's a good emotional twist of the knife, if you will. Yeah, nice. nice. Barely colliding with other pedestrians. I had to find him. Worst case scenario, he returned to Thespe, but I had a strong feeling that he was still here somewhere. Being soaked from head to toe, water pooling uncomfortably in my shoes, I ran through the rain. No matter where I looked or who I asked, I couldn't find him. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. I heaved a breath and leaned against the wall of the alleyway. I believed the worst. I couldn't find him like this. That's what I thought, until I turned my head to look down a fork in the alley. Icardi? He had his back turned to me, facing the direction of the Petal Latte Cafe. Past him, I could see the woman from the other day talking at the table. I knew if I approached him too quickly, he'd run again. I carefully drew closer. So, this is really it. You're taking the promotion. You made it clear that you didn't want to get in between me and my job. I was just throwing a tantrum. I didn't really want it to be over. Neither did I. But I'm doing what's right for both of us. I'm not in a place to put you above my own ambitions, so I can't give you the attention you need. I can compromise. I already endured that much. What's a little more? I don't want you to forcibly endure anything for my sake. I know there's someone else who will make you happy, even if that person isn't me. And I have no choice but to accept it. You really love your work more than me. What seemed to be an even-tempered conversation was still a breakup, and the snarl on Ricardi's face showed how much he hated it. His bow materialized in his hand within a blink, and in the next moment, he aimed it at the pair. Hey! He fired faster than I could call him out, hitting both women with his arrows. Don't accept it. I feel maybe all of this has been impulsive. I'm sorry I said that. I know you still love me. Let's work this out. I don't want to break up. Okay. We'll figure this out together. If I have to decline the promotion, even take you with me, we'll figure something out. The two women hugged each other tightly, and Ricardi continued to stare at them. What the hell did you just do to them? They were breaking up over something stupid. Yeah, maybe from the outside, but you just took their agency from them. Isn't it my job to make you humans fall in love with your compatible pair? Not like that. So now you want to dictate how I go about it. You're so controlling, Melly. I felt my chest tighten. I felt my chest tighten and the fear welling up inside of me as he stared at me with a soft smile. Except his words felt so cold. Let's go home. You're not looking too hot, and the way you're acting. Home isn't where you are. Home isn't Thespe either. I'm doing perfectly fine. Acting how I've always wanted to. Aggression and annoyance returned to his voice, and he snarled at me. Humans should love while they're able to, and stop taking my time for granted. I've worked so hard to make sure they're happy, and yet I get nothing in return. I'm not allowed to have what you all have. I can only watch and yearn for it while you all step on each other's feelings and disregard one another when it's convenient for you. If I have to be shackled to this life, then I will have control of how it goes. Not humans. Not the other Cupidines, nor the Foundation, not even Eros. I don't know how to... Sorry. Ricardi dropped his bow to the ground and grabbed his head, squeezing it in his palms. I rushed to support him, grabbing his side. Are you okay? Looking closely, I could see two protrusions forming on either side of his head. Sharply breaking through his skin were smooth ombre horns. Tears streamed from his eyes as he struggled to breathe in the wake of them. You have to pair me. Yeah, that'll make everything go back to normal. You hear that, Icardi? We just need to find my pair. I can use the bow on them, and then myself. Then you'll have done the right thing, and all of this will go. He shoved me away and dissipated his bow. It doesn't work like that. Are you shutting it down because you know for a fact, or is it simply because you won't even try it? I will never match you with anyone. What? There's no one on this earth, in the entire universe, God, man, or anything else that I will allow to be with you. So don't ask me to do that again. Why? Because I found you first. No one else can match you. If it can't be me, then there's no one else for you. With that, Icardi burst into the sky again, leaving me in despair and confusion. What's going on? The rain wouldn't let up. Not that it mattered. If anything, it only made it harder to walk, harder to see. I hadn't been back to the Quasimir Bridge since the night I jumped to get away from Asher. This felt just as chaotic as that day, except I didn't fear for my life. I feared for someone else, and writhed in the biggest mistake I'd ever made. I ruined Icardi. The sweet, big-hearted Cupidine who went out of his way to make sure that all of his matches found true love. I tainted him. And for what? Some petty, unknown curse from dumbass Eros? It wasn't his fault either. I just wanted someone to blame. The problem was always me. Everyone and everything that I tried to care about, or that tried to care about me, came to understand that one way or another. Some were spared. Some dodged the bullet. And then there was Icardi, who wasn't so lucky. So fucking sorry. I tripped over my heavy pants leg and fell against the pavement. The rain was so loud in my ears that nothing really mattered anymore. Is this where we are now? You aren't intending to lay here and die of pneumonia, are you? Why are you talking to me? I figured that you reached the end of the story, and I'm not quite satisfied with this ending. I felt his hand press against my back, and suddenly, the wet pavement was replaced with a black furred carpet. I rose to my knees and gazed at him. Where? A warmer, cozier place. He paced around me, wearing a delightful smile as he draped a towel over my head. Dry yourself as I talk. First, I must say that you are such a flawed little man, dear Rose. I thought with every fiber in me that you would come to me for help. Instead, you picked something unexpected. Seducing and charming a mere scouting Cupid to get into Thespe. I'd have never guessed. It was fun to watch, of course. Little Cardi absorbed everything you gave to him, becoming greedier himself. I know. My whole idea was stupid, and I'm disgusting for using him like that. Not where I was going with that. You're undoubtedly a manipulative opportunist. But I'm far from disgusted. And I don't think little Cardi is either. If you watched everything, then you saw how he behaved towards me when I tried to set the record straight. Because he didn't want it. He was happy with the way things were, Rose. Vitaly rustled the towel on my head, caressing my cheek. It was hurting. It wasn't good for him. No more than he was before, when he was only wishing and waiting. I don't understand. For someone with scheming capabilities, you couldn't even tell that you'd fallen into his hands too. Huh? What are you talking about? You used each other. Think about what little Cardi said to you. Confused, I took a moment to recount what actually happened in the alleyway. The exact words he'd said to me. I will never match you with anyone. What? There's no one on this earth, in this entire universe, God, man, or anything else, that I will allow to be with you, so don't ask me to do that again. Why? Because I found you first. No one else can match you. If it can't be me, then there is no one else for you. If it can't be me, then there is no one else for you. Slowly, I looked up at Vitaly, who confidently smirked at me. I made him think that way. I fail to understand how this is the only thing you managed to conclude. I know. I made him feel that strongly about me. Had I never fed his curiosity, he'd still be himself. Vitaly rolled his eyes and pushed my forehead with his ring finger. With his ring finger? Okay. There is enough brooding in your body to cover for the both of us, isn't it? It's neither here nor there whether you made him feel that way. What I'm saying to you is that Icardi is no more a victim than he is an opportunist in kind. Must I spell it out directly? I believe you to be smart enough to deduce it on your own. Despite his prodding finger and his annoyance, his tone was soft. He wanted me to look past where my mind had landed me. But what was there beyond that? Had it not been for my actions, Icardi would have never worked so hard for me. I shouldn't have to tell you what I'm getting at, but as a god, I suppose it is my job to guide you properly. What is it you want me to understand? Cupidine are not allowed to engage in romantic relationships as far as the rules go. It is a punishable sin. That doesn't stop them from being curious, or even attempting to do so regardless. Why can't they? Put yourself in the little one's shoes and ask that question. Why can't they? Why can't I? Never was there a moment where Icardi denied interest in dating and falling in love. He was always eager to learn, even more eager to experience it. Towards the end, he'd even grown jealous, frustrated over it. He didn't want the arrangement that we had had to end because he was... He used me so that he could experience it. He was aware that he'd receive punishment for it. All Cupidine have had the luxury of being told that. Does that mean that he fell in love with me? That Icardi loves me? Considering that he's suffering changes and breaking rules, I suppose so. But that's something you should ask him and not me. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. If Icardi has fallen for me, I need to protect him in the best way I can. For so long I'd been waiting and going from person to person. If Icardi loves me, I don't want to let him go, as selfish as that might be. I was afraid he'd been doing all of this out of the kindness of his heart, that he was gullible, naive. But if it's as Vitaly says, Icardi was far from gullible and just as hungry for love as I was. There's no other solution for us than to have each other. I don't want anyone else. I don't need anything else. I just need Icardi. I need to find him. So this is the direction we're headed. I'm interested. However, Icardi has committed a bigger sin than just falling in love with a human. He forced a pair together against their will, working outside of his function. What are they going to do with him? Execution, if he's caught. Well, what? He's already been caught. The doctor fed him to the others. Ironic, but not surprising. He's back in Thespe? Then he's fucking screwed. I looked Vitaly in his eyes, and he simply smiled as if expecting something out of me. I couldn't understand why he regarded me in such a way, but I knew what I wanted from him. Unless you help me. That is very true. Will you? I will take you back to Thespe, but from there you are on your own. You know I love a good show more than interference. That's fine. If that's what you want, then I'll give it to you. Vitaly's eyes crinkled, a thin smile stretching oddly too far. He'd been relatively normal, but I'd forgotten how creepy he can be. It's not, but I'll take it. Before that, you will also give me this. The pen? Well, yes. Before I could register where he'd reached, I saw the fountain pen within his clenched hand. Instinctively, I scrambled to claim it back, but he only tossed it into the void and laced our fingers together, adding his theatrical dip to my back in between. Trust me, you do not want this with you while you're there. Why not? I'll give you the ability to see them on your own as a temporary aid in its place. Will you give it back? Do be careful while you're there, dear Rose. With that, the world collapsed into darkness around us. Oh no. So Dr. Love betrayed Icardi? Oh. Ah. A large heel crashed into my side. He's getting jumped. They're jumping him. No. A large heel crashed into my side and a foot swung into my jaw. I could see the vibrant red coming out of me with each strike. It was hard to remember that we bleed too. There was never a situation where I had to endure that until now. Surprisingly enough, I didn't feel scared at all.
You're smiling right now?
He struck me in the mouth this time. It hurt so much, but no matter how much pain I felt, this punishment could only remind me of what I'd done. I fell in love with Melrose. I got to feel what that felt like, loving someone. I wish I could hold him and tell him that. I'm sure he needs that. I know he had always meant to use me. I don't know what it was for, but I'm glad he chose me for it. I'm thankful he gave me the opportunity to feel like a human. I felt an arrow stab into my hand. The pain was so excruciating that my eyes rolled back. Yet all I could do was think about Melrose.
I told you this would happen if you got too attached. Why are you laughing? You're about to be executed, you idiot.
Love is wonderful. Melrose had to feel something for me too. Whether he loved me like I did him was a question, but I know he cared. If he only wanted to use me, he'd have let me run myself into the ground. My ailments wouldn't have been a reason to end things between us. Instead, he wanted to stop me from ruining myself. He probably blames himself for it. He shouldn't. I knew. And I still wanted to. He was perfect. Someone with so much potential for love that the reason didn't matter, so long as I could love him.
Do you hear this? He regrets nothing.
This is becoming unbearable to watch.
Keep this up and we'll no longer be able to make a proper example of him.
I believe we've made enough examples. I looked up at Dr. Love and offered him a smile too. I'd gone to him because, unlike anyone else, he should know best how I feel. The expectation of the result being his turning me in, was far from my mind, but I understand. I don't blame him. His life is every bit as important as mine. Please, just put him out of his misery.
Shut up. It's not your call to make.
Foundation? Lady Aphrodite? Is it time for execution? I don't regret pursuing a human. I don't regret forcing the pair to fix their relationship. I regret nothing. but being caught. Because I finally realized that when I die, Melrose will have to start all over again. I won't be there to love him. Will he be okay going through the process again? Will they stay with him forever and take good care of him? The tears finally welled up in my eyes, and I couldn't hold back my cries. I'm so sorry, Millie. In the end, I failed you.
Who the hell is that?
Oh. Okay. Dan, Nikki, your boobs. Or Dan, Nikki, your bobs. I'm sorry, I mismemed. I've had enough. He commits a vast crime, and he dares to apologize to someone else other than his masters, his elders. How dare you spit on Eros's legacy? How dare you spit on his rule? Don't give him another second of reprieve. Finish him now. Oh my God. When I came to, I was standing upright in the middle of a crowd filled with cupids. I heard the voice of a woman thundering from the podium, and there in the center of the floor was Icardi. There is no room for those who selfishly seek their own. Icardi! Sorry. I can't really, scream, and I also don't think I have a voice limiter on here. If I screamed, I think it might, peak the mic. I forced my way through the crowd and rushed at the Cupid, who had a fistful of his hair. Oof! Ramming him in the stomach with my elbow, I grabbed the arrow he dropped and jabbed it into the other Cupidine next to him. Oh no, not Scouting Cupid B. Oh! You. Kneeling down just a little, I helped hoist Icardi up onto his feet. Melly, why are you here? We don't have time. We need to get the hell out of here. Who is that? Do not let them leave. Hobbling together, I tried to lead Icardi toward what I had thought to be the exit. A line of Cupidines swarmed us, blocking the route. Damn it. It's okay, Melly. If they get you, I'm not leaving without you, so move your damn legs. But they'll hurt you. That's why we have to go. I argued against this sacrifice while we attempted to avoid the swarming Cupidine and dodge their incoming charge. I didn't know where the exit was, running aimlessly like chickens in the middle of a riot. I was sure that if this kept up, we'd get worn out and captured. Icardi, I need you to help me out here. I can tell you where to go, but I'll just slow you down. You love me, right? I do. Then fight with me. Don't let them fucking separate us. Maybe those were the words that he needed to hear, because a fire lit under his ass immediately after. Back off! Icardi wrestled free from my support and rushed the Cupidine in front of us with clenched fists. He swung at whatever came to block the way, and I followed suit. We made it into the halls away from the matching pool in the court, but there were still so many coming at us. We can't fight them all. We have to go. Watch your back! I turned to see what Icardi was warning me about and nearly suffered a stab to the face had it not been for him pulling me into the security of his embrace. The arrow stabbed into Icardi's arm instead. I couldn't fathom the amount of pain he was in from all the injuries, but he was adamant about using his body to shield me. Hold on to me. Icardi scooped me up in his arms and zoomed ahead, taking off at full speed through a portal back to the human realm. So what now? We collapsed onto my couch with the portal closing immediately after our exit. I doubted we were entirely safe even for a second. Just as I was about to get up, Icardi squeezed me tightly in his arms. The relief on his battered face made my heart beat faster. What? We're still not safe here, you know? I know, but we should take a moment, yeah? Every minute is precious. Before I could protest any further, Icardi pressed his lips to mine. It was so soft. My breath hitched in my throat with each gentle kiss. I don't know what it could be. Nope, it's not that one. Shift? Alt? Nope. Control? I don't know. There's usually a button so that you can see the whole CG, but we can just look at them after. It's fine. I've never been so overwhelmed by non-verbal expressions before now. Every kiss was a declaration of Icardi's gentle love for me. If possible, my heart would have exploded by now. It's hard to breathe. Sorry, Melly. I'm just really, really happy to be with you again. Even if it's only for a little, and I'm going to die, I'm glad that I get to see you. You won't die. They're coming for us. They'll find us soon. And I'm afraid that I don't have the strength to keep going. He was injured and bleeding. The burst of energy that he had had was a miracle in itself. I don't care. I won't let them kill you. My heart is swelling just hearing you say that. I could see it. His heart was beating hard just for me. While it was still alarming and a little unsettling to look at, this was Icardi now. I didn't love him any less. I don't regret what I've done, as selfish as that sounds. I got to experience what falling in love feels like. With a soul like yours, born to love anything, anyone. Born to love? I didn't understand what he meant by that. All my life I'd spent fighting for the feeling of love, so much so that I wondered if I even knew what it was or how it was supposed to be. I had to learn to detach myself. I struggled with letting go of people who didn't want what I offered. People who didn't want the love that I had to give. There's nothing wrong with you. Sorry. There's nothing wrong with you, Millie. I love the affection you've given me. I guess he noticed my thoughts trailing off, because he brought one hand to cup my cheek. I don't think you need the validation of someone else to be more appropriate than I. I don't think you need the validation of someone else more appropriate than I. Even the thought of my dying, your being matched, bothers me. He pouted like a stubborn kid, wanting to keep his favorite toy for himself. A laugh bubbled out of me as I recalled his sort of tantrum. Perhaps things would have gone better if he'd paired me with whoever he'd seen. But we can't change the past. What's done is done. Quite frankly, I don't care to know them either. His possessiveness is a little cute, however. Then don't die. Or should we go together? Absolutely not. You must live. You must live too, then. Icardi stared at me as if I was the only thing in the world that mattered. Honestly, I didn't believe I was deserving of it, but I want it. I want him. Whether we used each other or not, it brought us here. I love you, Icardi. I love you too, Melrose. I closed the distance between our lips once more while the wind outside picked up. They found us. You really can't move? I'm sorry, you really can't move? No. He gave me a bittersweet smile and I hugged him tightly. If he were going to die, they'd have to take him with me. Sorry, take me with him. Clearly I'm... a lot's going on, okay? A lot of emotions happening. I wish Vitali hadn't taken the pen from me, but he said it was better that I didn't have it. As I pondered it, Icardi wrapped a protective arm around me. Several Cupidine descended into my living room, including the two I assaulted earlier. Jeez.
Even now, you're still going out without remorse. I never wanted to see this happen to you. That's why I kept warning you. You just had that look that screamed insubordination.
So, it was because you were worried about me, huh? I'm sorry for not realizing until now.
Idiot.
Remove the human. She ordered a swift execution.
Another one.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Bring the man back to Thespe. She's curious about him.
The Cupidine drew closer, and Icardi's hold on me tightened so strongly that I felt I might snap. Regardless, I clung to him with as much strength as my human body could muster. Pathetically, there was nothing we could do other than this. Huh? The bow of evil.
What's this?
You two are always together. I hate it. What? What? It was all so fast. One Cupidine had turned on the other two, attacking them both with his arrow. The frenzy caused the others to focus their attention on the stir. In the faintest moment, I saw the black arrow lodged into the traitorous Cupidine's back. But it disappeared in a flurry of commotion. So, Cupid C took out A and B, and then what? Vitali took out Cupid C? What's going on? I don't know either. Melly! A black haze enveloped our bodies as we desperately tried to hold on to one another, and then the world fell away into darkness. Alright, I have to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. So much is happening. I awoke to the sound of birds and rustling leaves beside me, and rustling leaves. Pause. Beside me was Icardi, unconscious, with an arm still lingering over me. We appeared to be in some kind of forest area. I had the feeling that society was far removed from it. Icardi? I gently shook his arm and he stirred a bit, but continued to sleep. Had it not been for his visible heart, I'd have panicked at the thought of him being dead. I need you to wake up. I don't know where we are. Yes? It looks like we're in some forest, but it doesn't feel normal. The trees look weird, and those birds have strangely colored eyes. We're in Night Marsh. We got teleported to Night Marsh. I'm sorry. It was stupid. Oh. I'm not sure what to make of that. But it feels like we're okay here. He was right. Despite the oddities of our environment, I didn't feel pressured to escape or return home. It was foreign, but I felt safe. Part of me humored the thought that maybe we had actually died. This was some plane we'd ended up in together. Oopsie daisy. Cardi lifted himself off the ground to the best of his ability. His wounds were still freshly bleeding. It must hurt like hell. I don't know what I can do to treat you out here. I've never imagined a day that I'd have to rely on natural herbs instead of meds. It's all right, Melly. My wounds heal faster once I go back to sleep. But my wounds will heal faster once I go back to sleep. Perhaps I should have let you stay asleep. We don't seem to be in any trouble, so... It's probably for the best, but I want to talk to you a little longer. What's up? Yikes. Pulling my collar. What did you want to use me for? It was always a question of mine. Regardless of whether I accepted whatever goal you had with no knowledge. I swallowed, feeling embarrassed, even remembering the foolish ambition, but I owed Icardi that much after everything I'd put him through. I intended to use your gullibility to take me into Thespe, where I'd find and kill Eros. Really? But Eros is dead. Did you become a believer in the theory that he's alive? I didn't want to tell him that another god had confirmed his mortality status for me already. It didn't matter anymore, anyway. I had no interest in attempting the man's life now. I'd ask why, but I think I have the gist of it. He chuckled softly and reached a hand to squeeze mine. I think this would have been my solution either way. You're not alone, and I'll be here for you until your final breath. In the end, that's all I really needed anyway. Icardi used his other hand to bring my face closer to his, and then gave me a soft kiss. A kiss that I couldn't resist the urge to chase. As long as Icardi loved me, he filled whatever void I had felt before. Quasimir? Perhaps? I don't know how many days or weeks have passed since Icardi and I ended up in that strange place. But one day, I awoke in the comfort of my bedroom, nestled in his arms. My apartment room was just as I had left it, untouched. No sign of anyone having been there or messed with anything. Everything felt so foreign to me now. Living on whatever plane that was, it seemed like any chance of seeing Grandma and Marlowe again became completely impossible. I'd nearly grown to accept that fact if it meant keeping us safe. I even came to terms with the thought that there weren't... Let me just start over. I even came to terms with the thought that there wasn't an option to check in with them or say goodbye properly. Reintegrating back into my social life revealed only a month had gone by while we were gone. Marlowe wasn't thrilled with my disappearance, nor was Grandma, but they had gradually forgiven me. If not for Icardi's interception, watching me weather the storm of their frustrations made him abruptly reveal himself to them in my defense. Given there was even more stuff to explain, we told something believable enough for them. Which is what? I mean, I guess he can cloak his, horns and stuff. It shouldn't be that difficult. But I do wonder what story they told. Don't worry, I went on a camping trip with my new boyfriend. You know how crazy I am. I'm just such a wacky guy. Melly, we're almost there. Okay. Icardi healed up well, but his demonic changes were there to stay. No amount of repentance or change could return what he naturally was before. Cloaking them from the public eye wasn't an issue for him. In fact, I only ever saw them when we were alone together. Icardi blended in like a normal human being, and the strange part was that we were just living. Nothing and no one came for us. We'd run into Dr. Love a few times, but other than a greeting and a statement about our granted freedom, that was as far as we got with answers. I found myself thinking about that unknown god who took my fountain pen, wondering if he had had a hand in the change. There have been no signs of him since that day. Eerie as it felt, I decided not to question it. If Icardi and I got to live a normal life together, then I would be thankful for it. I hear a lot of birds, and I'm stepping on leaves. No guessing. It's kind of hard not to try guessing since you dragged me out here so early. Should I have waited a little later then? The outdoor breeze feels nice in the morning. Just make sure I don't run into anything or trip, okay? Icardi has been planning something special for us over the last week, disappearing to wherever this was each day until I finally asked him about it. Where the hell are we going? This morning, when the birds were chirping loudest, was the time that he decided it was good to show me. All right. Okay. Here. You can open your eyes now. The sound of crickets, birds, and flowing water alongside our crunching feet. Crumbling feet? Our crunching feet had me envisioning where we were before my eyes even opened. To my surprise, there was a cozy cabin surrounded by full, healthy trees. Off to the side was a stream. Ta-da! Our own little getaway. So he chooses not to... What? The demonic changes were permanent. I don't care. I actually don't care. I like this. I'm happy with the ending. I'm curious to see what the bad ending looks like. I guess the bad ending is he dies, maybe? I'm assuming it's that. Oh my god, though. This is so much. This is I am so happy and impressed with this story. This is only one of 3 routes, with a potential additional route, maybe. Solo dev. It's crazy work. Crazy good. Ta-da! Our own little getaway. Oh my goodness. Reminds me of that realm. But why a cabin in the woods? Well, I noticed you're stressing with all the attention since we returned, so I figured a quiet place might be good for the 2 of us. Don't worry, I absolutely told Marlowe and the landlady that we'd gone for a couple of days. Oh, really? And what is it you want to do for those couple of days? Watching his face flush red at my suggestive tone, I was sure he knew exactly what I was thinking. Instead, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a folded paper. I made a bucket list of things I want to try with you while we're here. Cooking, fishing, watching movies, dancing, and I ran my finger over his abs through his tight shirt, watching the way his throat bobbed in response. Playing games, swimming. There's so much I want to do with you. The twinkle of adoration in his eyes misted into something I'd seen often, now that he was no longer restrained from looking at me in such a way. Couldn't do any of this at home? Don't tease me. I don't want to be interrupted. I raised my phone and gave it a little wave before he swiped it and shoved it into his pocket with a satisfied grin. For the next 3 days, just us. Okay. Times like these were hard to think about. At times like these, it was hard to think about anything else but how much he made me smile. Here he was going out of his way to make me happy and relieve my stress. He was almost like a puppy, even when the slightest bit of discomfort happened to me. I had to let him know it's not always bad for me to wallow a bit. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my future. I got an extra job to bring in more cash. It was the only way I could ensure that we kept going as comfortably as we could. Ricardi worked so hard as a scouting Cupid, I wanted to take care of him instead. Ricardi's a stay-at-home boyfriend. Well, yes. By the end of the day, it felt like I had actually worked a ton today. He'd meant it when he said the bucket list was long. How did you even get this cabin? I found it. You what? To think he'd just randomly find a cabin, dress it up, and use it for a little getaway was one of my first thoughts, but I hoped I was wrong. The thought of it being some random person's home or some serial killer's hideaway immediately struck. Ricardi erupted into laughter at my shock, waving his hands and shaking his head. It's a joke. Dr. Love helped me find one to rent, and Marlowe helped me put together some ideas. Oh? You put a lot of work into this, huh? Yeah. You've been very stressed and tired. I know you can't afford a long break, but... His voice softened a great deal as he approached me and the bed. I want to help you have fun and relax. Today had many firsts for me, too. Really? Not to say I haven't done them before, just haven't gotten to experience them with my past partners. A date for me was a club or going to see some movie I wouldn't pay attention to. A rare occasion at the fair or amusement park. These are more fun-loving, adventurous things. I'm not used to that. Do you like it? He tilted his head, wearing a weary smile. I grabbed his large hand and brought it to my lips, kissing the back of it. Icardi hovered over me, pressing his forehead against mine. I love it. Not just this that you've put together. Your gestures every day. You. That's good, because I want to make sure you feel it. Everything that you haven't felt in a while. He grabbed my waist and flipped me onto my stomach, leaving no room for escape as he lay atop me. Everything you've never felt before. All that you want. I want to give it to you. Wait, indeed. Wait. Okay. I mean, I'm trying to decide. Let's make this a little bit neater. I'm trying to decide if this... It's not... It's not... We'll do like... I'm gonna do a flash of it. I think it's not like explicit. There's no like... It's not any worse than something that you could easily post on like Instagram or Twitter without getting without getting like notice of it or getting it like blocked or something, but like 2 seconds. Okay. But anyway, again, if you're interested in the actual CG, you can check it out in the Discord. I'll be posting it in the Discord. Yeah. His hand slipped to my waist, peeling my pants back as he drew his lips to the shell of my ear. I trembled beneath his eager and wandering fingers. The shadow of his wing cast onto the bed, and black feathers landed on my face. I swallowed hard at the feeling of his beating heart pressed against my back. You've done everything. I can't speak. Give me like 2 seconds. You've done everything. One more time. You've done everything I wanted today. It's your turn to have what you want. You don't have to. Cardi's breath spilled against my ear in a soft tone. Contrary to his hands that worked at me firm and relentlessly, hearing my whimpers ease through closed lips only increased his actions. Nonsense. This is something you've wanted all day, right? Cardi, don't worry. I actually wanted to see Melly like this all day too. But then we wouldn't have been able to do all the other things. Raising my hips, I felt him press into my body, muscular arms encasing me in the warmth of his embrace. So instead, we'll do this all night. It was ridiculous to say that I'd be getting any rest during this little retreat, but everything instead of a complaint left my mouth. All the while, he drove his high through me as fast as he could, leaving kisses along my neck and cheek. I'll do all the work. You say that all the time. I promise, each time, to take good care of you. You always do. Being each other's everything for the rest of my life. There would come a day when I would leave him, but Icardi was intent on making every day more exciting than the last. And I wanted to give him all the love that I had. Harmony ending. Good ending, I'm assuming, because we're in heaven now. Okay. This is the last time that I'm going to talk about slow damage, but I want to bring it up because this addresses something that I didn't like about the way one of the routes ended on that, where a character like is moving through the world, like without any spoilers, is moving through the world in a certain way, and the narrative compels this character to like change themselves back, implying that the way that they were in the story was bad. And we need to save the ending, I guess. But implying that the way that the character was in the story was bad. And it, in my understanding of the game, and in fact, in the bad ending, it's like a slippery slope kind of ending for that character in terms of like, oh, what they were doing and the person that they were during the story was bound to become this bad ending version, and the good ending version is like, I don't want to give spoilers, but the good ending is like the character that they were was actually like a traumatic facade and wasn't actually the person that they wanted to be or should be in the world and stuff like that. And I was like, I mean, it's actually one of the pairings that I like the most in the story, but I just didn't like the implications, like sort of societal ism based implications of the bad end and the good end and the contrast that they represent. So I like this in my mind is like a metatextual addressing of that ending, those endings and that character, and I love that, and I just want to stand on that. I love that. Really, really appreciate that. Very nice. But yeah, good stuff. If you, like I said, if you're interested in the saucy CGs, they're not explicit. There's no like actual full frontal male nudity or anything, but for the purposes of the stream and me not knowing really what, I feel like I'm already pushing it low key with the bathing suit, so I need to be careful, thoughtful, mindful. But you know, thumb, middle finger emoji, very, very tasty, very, very, very saucy, beautiful art. We love it. Very happy with the ending. I liked, like I said, I liked the sort of emotional twist of the knife. I am happy. Like I was talking about Melly being toxic, and the sort of, it felt mismatched because not mismatched, not like the pairing was bad, but it just felt like, is Melly going to be toxic? Is what Melly is doing genuinely toxic? And is Icardi genuinely so blind to it that it's going to be like a massive what is it? There's a bunch of different words I could use, but it's like a massive flip when everything that is trying to happen comes to light, when the plot against Eros comes to light. But I like that in the end, Icardi was not written to be completely naive. Like he's a himbo in the real sense, and that he's not dumb. He's just happy-go-lucky. You know what I mean? I like that. I imagine that we'll learn more about what happened with the Black Arrow and killing off the Cupidines that came to kill him in the third ending, and I think we'll probably have to go through the first two to get to the third. That's fine. We also have the bad ending of this, and I don't know how. It might be short. It might be like really quick. I'm glad we managed to pick the good ending the first time. Like I was intentionally picking the bad endings to see where they went in the previous run, or the previous section. So it was good to get the good ending and just get to go through it, you know, in and of itself. I don't know. I loved Icardi's enthusiastic consent, and also the happiness that they both were able to share together. This is so good. Like I feel like, at least so I've been posting about this on Tumblr, and there's so few posts about this game, and I guess it's hard to want to post about it. Not because I want to gatekeep it. I don't want to gatekeep it. I want people to play this game. I want people to see this game and enjoy this game. But I don't want to spoil it to get people to engage with it, you know? And not that I have like a huge following anyway to pull people's focus to it, but it deserves more attention. Like it's good. It's really nice work, which is what I said to the creator on Blue Sky. Like I think this deserves as much attention as Touch Starved or Obscura. I think, but it's hard because one person. I think it's just Tokyoraki who's making this who did the whole game, which incredible work for a single dev. You know, like I don't know. I mean, it's not much I can do personally, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's go and check out the bad ending. Sheesh. Sorry for tripping over my words during the scene. I was a little bit flustered. You know, I I wasn't able to hold my frame. Anyway, I just must you need to hear it from his lips? Moments like these are when you must be sure of yourself, Rosie. Yes. If Icardi had fallen for me, I couldn't shake the fact that I might have manipulated this to happen. His kindness, I took it for granted. Icardi's gullible, naive. I have to take responsibility for what I did. I don't deserve to love him like this. But if my love can save him, then I will do it. I stood up from the ground, letting the towel slip to the floor. I need to find him. And yet, you are still failing to see what is truly important. No matter. I will see your journey to the end. Icardi has committed a bigger sin than just falling in love with a human. He forced a pair together against their will, working outside of his function. What are they going to do to him? Execution, if he is caught. Well, what? He's already been caught. The doctor fed him to the others. Ironic, but not surprising. He's back in Thespe? Then he's fucking screwed. I looked Vitaly in his eyes, and he simply continued to stare blankly as if expecting something out of me. I couldn't understand why he regarded me in such a way, but I knew what I wanted from him. Unless you help me. That is very true. Will you? I will take you to Thespe, but from there you are on your own. You know I love a good show more than interference. That's fine. If that's what you want, then that's what I'll give you. Vitaly's eyes crinkled, a thin smile stretching oddly too far. He'd been relatively normal, that I'd forgotten how creepy he can be. It's not, but I'll take it. Huh? Before that, you will also give me this. Before I could register where he'd reached, I saw the fountain pen within his clenched hand. Instinctively, I scrambled to claim it back, but he only tossed it into a void and laced our fingers together, adding his theatrical dip of my back in between. Trust me, you do not want this with you while you're there. I will give you the ability to see them on your own as a temporary aid in its place. Will you give it back? Do be careful while you're there, dear Rose. With that, the world collapsed into darkness around us. What if Vitaly's like the god of desire or something? And what's feeding him initially was our desire to kill Eros? And subsequently, he's being fueled by our desire to protect Icardi. And subsequently, Icardi's desire for us, but since in the bad ending we don't acknowledge that Icardi is actually responsible for his own feelings and desires, it's less satisfying. I don't know. We're just spitballing. I'm kind of going out of the way to be potentially wrong with some of these, because it is more fun that way. Like, I don't like being able to predict where the story's going, and I'm glad to have been surprised during this. Anyway. He dropped me smack in the middle of a crowd of cupids, voices thundering from the front. All I could focus on was the sight of Icardi being dragged across the floor. Icardi! I rushed to his side and shoved the other cupid off of him.
What? Who is this?
Melly, why are you here? Don't worry, I'll do what has to be done. Running away would only lead to more danger in the long run. To be us against the entire Cupidine species. None of this was Icardi's fault. I was a filthy human who had tainted him. If I gave them this narrative in hopes, if I gave them this narrative, hopefully they'd spare his life. Who is that human? The human who manipulated this Cupid for his own personal gain. I'm the problem. The Cupidine whispered amongst themselves. The woman above raised a peculiar brow at me. How are you able to see us? How are you able to be here? A god granted me access and the privilege. I don't understand why, but he helped me meet this Cupid. What are you saying? I'm saying it was all staged. Everything. Our meeting was all part of my own selfish scheme. I preyed upon your gullibility to get me this far. And unfortunately, I felt the error of my ways far too late. I didn't want to drag Vitali's name into the dirt, but I needed to come up with some kind of lie that would lessen whatever they intended to do to us, even if that would mean I'd take the brunt of it. In the end, if Icardi could keep on living, then I would accept the consequences for him. It wasn't staged. We met purely by chance. I targeted you with the power given to me by that god. I wanted to use you to find a lover. And who might this other god be? I was told I can't disclose it. Her intense gaze tried to read me, but I couldn't falter. I've lied out of my teeth so strongly before. I can do it now. Regardless, I think I know who our adversary is. Lady Aphrodite, please don't believe him. He's lying. I'm sorry that I played with your feelings. Cupidines cannot love. They must make others love. Your good intentions to help a lonely human were perfect for someone jaded like me. Melrose, stop! The desperation in his voice shot through my skull like an electrified bolt. It hurt to look at his pain-filled face, so I kept my gaze on the woman above the podium and her 4 companions. So, what do you say to his rambling? Did you brainwash him so badly that he's willing to take the fall for you? Yes. I made him think that. The art of seduction is something you understand best, if not more than anyone, Miss Aphrodite. He does have an allure about him. I know. The allure is almost nostalgic. The light within Aphrodite's gaze burned me, searching for something. For a moment, it felt like there was more that she wanted to say to me. However, Dr. Love cut it short by chiming in. Lady Aphrodite, if I may suggest a solution, I believe Icardi should be demoted to a love forecaster. No one expected he'd say anything, and yet he was trying to help. Vitali said that he ratted Icardi out, after all.
Talking out of turn again.
And what do you propose for this human? She sneered at Dr. Love, who eyed me with some hint of hesitation. Clearing his throat, he remained poker-faced. We should all be familiar with this punishment. Make him forget everything, and pair him with his soulmate. A sinister laugh filled the room, and Aphrodite stood up from her chair, making her way down to me. No, we'll make him forget. But pairing him would be in his favor, and I don't want to reward such audacious behavior. Her icy hands cupped my chin, standing taller than me, as the others. Please, don't punish him like that. I'll be good from now on. I'll do any and everything you ask of me without fail. Take his bow and put him in confinement. His babbling is irritating me.
Yes, ma'am.
Melrose! Tears welled in my eyes as Icardi kicked and screamed in the distance. I couldn't bear to look at him like that, or else my sacrifice would be in vain. With this, I could ensure that he was safe, even if he lost his right to be a scouting Cupid. At least he was alive. You really do have a pretty face. Almost annoyingly so. But you're not so lovely inside. I'll let you off with a simple curse. You will never find the lover you seek. You will be alone until the day your pretty little face rots and decays. Brace yourself. This is what you expected. A mass of emotions whirled within me at her mercy, ranging from the urge to bite into her face like a rabid animal to the feeling of peril and distraught. It was the worst punishment. A sick and twisted joke. She and Eros had to be the most vile of gods. I may forget, but I will never forgive them. My body shook as her sickening laugh coursed through my ears. Such is only fair, right? Someone who makes a mockery of Eros' love is not worthy of love. Say it back to me. Say that you are hideous and unworthy of love, and I'll spare the Cupid. Lady Aphrodite, say it. I wanted to kill her. A human like me could do something like that. Or a human like me couldn't do something like that to her. Perhaps if I had the pen, maybe. Her impatience grew the longer I held back, and just when she was about to bark an order, I said it. I am hideous and unworthy of love. That wasn't so hard, was it, dear? Now, enjoy this little slap on the wrist and never cross me again. She shoved her finger against my forehead with brute force. I lost consciousness after that. Oh no. Love Life Studios. Icardi's a podcaster now. What have we done? Okay, I can't believe it. Monster. What a monster. We fucked everything up. Anyway, adjusting to life among the humans after being demoted. Adjusting to life among the humans after being demoted wasn't too hard from the bit I learned from Millie. Everything else came naturally with Dr. Love's assistance. I work at Loveline Studios now with the other Love forecasters. There's others? In a twisted fate, I got to be closer to the humans than I envied. In a twisted fate, I got to be closer to the humans that I envied, but I felt even more miserable. No desire to learn more about them. No desire to fall in love. Only a longing for what once was, but no longer could be. An element of freedom came with being a scouting Cupid, but now I constantly felt the higher Cupidine breathing down my neck and reminding me of my sins. It would have been better to die back then, but I cherished Millie's last efforts for me, even if it hurt that he denied everything that we were. My pain is nothing compared to his. You're here again today, huh? My friend said maybe the days matter. He doesn't recognize me. When he looks at me, it's devoid of any feelings that he had in the past. Give me your hand. He passed his hand to me with a tired sigh. We've been coming here almost every other week to get readings from each of us, wanting different opinions in hope of different results. No matter how many times we read him, the results were always the same. No existing match. Nothing? No. I want to give up. I wanted to hug him in my arms, smother him in a million kisses, and pour all of my undying love into every inch of his body. Doing so would get me into major trouble. Who knew what the consequences would be for going against his curse? Seeing him lonely was too cruel. I can't shake the feeling that I was loved, really loved, and I lost it. Maybe that's why I keep chasing this phantom feeling, coming here in search of it. I love you. I love you, Melrose. I couldn't hold back the tears, which brought surprise to his face. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make you pity me. No, I'm just touched, that's all. That's a special feeling to have. This might be weird for me to say, but I think the lost person must have loved you dearly. And if they were here, they'd still love you. You don't get tipped extra for saying nice things to me. That wasn't my intention. I mean it. As foolish as I may be, I believe that. And I hope that you can believe that too, Mr. Figueroa. I just wish I remembered them. The car accident took so much time away from me. I can only move forward, but God, is it frustrating. I should cut this short and go. I'm sure you have other clients coming. My reading was the same, but who knows what next week or the week after that will bring. Yeah. Until next time. I let his hand slip from my grasp and clenched my balled fist underneath the desk. Please don't leave. Please stay here a little longer. My eyes pleaded while watching him stand up from the chair in front of my desk. I want you. You're mine. I felt sick as he headed for the door. In the next moment, I was rushing behind him, hungrily, thirst unquenched. I'm tired of seeing him go, seeing him hurt. If no one will love him how he wants, I will. Icardi. Dr. Love caught my arm seconds before my claws could grab Melrose and drag him back into my office. I could only watch as his form disappeared further down the corridor. I'm sorry. If you can't resist, I'll have to transfer you to another building. No, please don't. This is the only thing keeping me functioning. I'll behave. Just let me see him. He may not remember that I love him, but I will keep loving him from afar as much as I can for the rest of his days. I live only for him. Sad ending. Writer, artist, developer. Snaps, claps, applause. Oh, I didn't mean to click out of it. I was just trying to click back on the screen. My bad. yeah, I'm excited for the other two routes. We have another, I don't know, easily another 10 to 12 hours of gameplay in this. I don't know. Low key, I don't want to wait. Like, I don't want to have to chop this up into like a million streams, but I also don't want to rush it, you know? Because it's good. Poor Melrose. He looks so sad in the bad ending CG. I guess it's not bad ending CG. It's just Icardi. The ending is just called Icardi, right? All right, let's go. Let's check out the CGs while we're here. Oh wait, hold on. I'm so glad I did this. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be super tame. I mean, it is fairly tame. It could definitely be less tame. Like even the well, the main story of A Date with Death was tame, more tame than this even. The DLC endings were decidedly less tame than this. You do actually get like nudity and junk, genitals and such. But can we click through? Is there like can I scroll through them? No, I can just click on them and look. So we can take a look at this one. We can look at some of them. Just be cautious. Actually getting to see the full CG of this. Nice, nice. This one, which I wanted to see the full CG of, but I didn't know how to remove the UI from the screen. I'm gonna have to check it and see how you can remove the UI for future stream content. I didn't know what to expect. I'm kind of glad we picked this route first. I think it was probably, I did think it was going to be fun. I didn't know how saucy it was going to get. But like, oh, like, I'm thinking about, so I'm sitting here having completed the story and I'm like, I have time to draw and stuff. And I'm like, look at Icardi. Like, what if I did, you know, that the trend of like the person holding their hands up to the sky and it like casts a shadow on like their pecs or their chest, and so it looks like a shadow is holding their chest. What if that art, but Icardi? Now, do I have the skills to accomplish this? Maybe it might take me like a month to do it, but Icardi deserves it. Icardi deserves fan art. Love him. He deserves fans. Poor baby. All right. Yeah, this is good. Like such a cute time. Really, really nice. Aw. Like it was so good. I'm like, I expected it to be good. I expected to have a nice time. The surprises were very pleasant. Yeah. And we'll start from here and go with this route. My question is, do I need to, I guess this route won't be unlocked in this save. Like I think once I complete the routes, I need to utilize that save. Like go from this save into the main screen, main menu, and then start from there. Do I have to start completely over? I might have to start over and then maybe fast pass through the first little section of the game until we get to the part where we're talking to Vitaly, and then we get to choose what route we go through in order to see the other routes or see the additional route once we unlock it. But hot dog. Goddamn. Really nice work. What is download sync? What does this do? Sync ID you generated. Never enter a sync ID you didn't create yourself. I don't know what that is. It probably has nothing to do with me. Probably not something I can do anything about, or do anything with, which is okay. Options. I've looked at this a million times. Skip after choices, transitions, unseen text. Short stream. 3 hours, but like shorter. Yeah. If you're looking for the CGs, I'm gonna be posting them in the Discord. Maybe. Is it? I mean, I don't know. I'm still debating over how much stuff to share because some of it is spoilers. And I want to get people's attention and like draw people potentially to check out the game, but I also don't want to give away the endings, like, you know? That would be part of why you'd want them to play the game, is to see the CGs and play for the CGs themselves. I think the etiquette for visual novels is not to share ending CGs. So maybe I'll just share the first one, the first like scene with them. I won't share the ending CG. You'll have to play to see that one. Or check out the like 1 second clip that I showed of it. Yeah. But thank you Dokiraki for the food. Is there a way to see the credits? No. It says credits here, but there it is. Shout out to everyone involved. And eat well, rest well, stay hydrated. I'll see you guys soon. I'm not supposed to be streaming later this week, but maybe since we have extra days, maybe Saturday night. If not Saturday night, I might just bump sci-fi night so I can start Dr. Love's route, since the majority of it is going to be content that we've already seen. That might be the move. I'll decide later. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for enjoying checking out the VOD. If you checked out the VOD, I'm glad I got to play this.